What's up? We start with Chapter 0, which seems a bit strange. Studies in statistics can be divided into two broad categories: observational studies and experimental studies. This lesson isn't specifically about experiments more than it's about different types of statistical studies. It helps to know these differences so that you know what separates experiments from other studies, and in this way, we'll understand it a bit better. Both studies generally make use of data which is recorded onto spreadsheets, but the types of conclusions or inferences that we make from different types of studies are going to be fundamentally different. In observational studies, a sample from a larger population is taken with the intention to draw conclusions or inferences about the population. As we collect greater quantities of representative samples, we get a clearer picture of the population. However, we will never see the population with 100% clarity. It would be far too expensive for us to ask every single New Zealander a question. Even if we did ask every single New Zealander a question, there's no guarantee that they would all answer. Thus, it is very unlikely that we would ever be in a position where we had all of the data or all of the information to make any kind of conclusion with absolute certainty. As an example, what if we wanted to know about the different types of streaming services that New Zealanders use? In this example, a survey is emailed to a random selection of Spark broadband users across New Zealand. The survey asked respondents about the following: what streaming services do you use for watching TV shows and/or movies? How much daily time do you spend watching streamed content? Or, rate how healthy you feel on a scale of 1 to 6. Can you think of some questions we might be able to ask using this type of data that we're collecting? Here are some example questions. What streaming service do Spark customers prefer? Do more Spark customers use Netflix than YouTube as their main streaming service for TV shows and movies? Is there a relationship between the number of streaming services Spark customers use and the number of hours they spend watching streamed content? I wonder if Spark customers who spend 2 or more hours per day watching streamed content have a lower median rating of subjective healthiness than the median rating of subjective healthiness for Spark customers who watch less than 2 hours of streamed content a day. And finally, does watching more than 2 hours of streamed content cause Spark customers to feel subjectively unhealthier compared to those who watch less than 2 hours a day? Now, all but one of these questions can be answered with observational data. Pause the video and spot the one that doesn't fit. If you chose the last one, then you are correct. The last question is very different than the first 4 questions. In the first 4 questions, we can attempt to make a conclusion about Spark customers based on their reported habits, but we cannot say that any one answer affects the answer to another question. The last question is different because it introduces a different idea, which observationals cannot answer: cause and effect. To answer cause and effect questions, such as, does watching more TV reduce a person's well-being, we have to use experimental design principles. Nerd alert! This lesson was a brief comparison of 2 types of statistical studies: observational studies and experimental studies. And we also looked at the different types of questions that these different studies can answer. Here are the key differences. In the next lesson, you will be introduced to an overview of experiments. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope this helped.